Hey all, second stream of the day. Earlier on today we looked at the patch notes for Symbiosis Port 2. Did a bit of theory crafting about what may or may not happen in it. So that one's now posted up on YouTube. I thought I'd go live because the event calendar's come out and the events have just been released. So I'm just going to spend a bit of time looking at the events, maybe having a go at a few of them, and see if we can up some. Have a look to see what we maybe need to save this month to try and compete in some of the SLBs, and what we can garner from the events calendar that's just been released. Sometimes there's a bit disclaimer. They do make adjustments to these, so if you're watching this back, they may make some changes to it. But let's get into it. Just give me a second. I'll put this on my phone this time, so I can see if anybody asks any questions. Okay, alright, so the first thing we'll look at is the events themselves. I've barely looked at this myself at all. All I've done is I've come in and I've claimed my free gift, and which has opened up the faction store and given me some loots for the battle pass. So, well, for the event store, because it looks like there's an event store this month as well. So yeah, you can see I've got been given some Trill albums, which is the new currency to spend in the event store. And the first thing that jumped out at me in the event store is that I can get Janeway, which is good. She's the only one I've not got. Okay, so let me just put a note on to say I've gone live on these. On stream, Twitch. Right, so if we have a look, first thing I want to look at is, let's have a quick look at the battle pass. So you can see events, battle pass. So you see, as usual, got some of the new officers, stuff for Forbidden Tech, increasing amounts of like pore steel, dilithium, and tritanium, and they come in waves and get more as you go through. So this looks pretty standard stuff. Some of the rares, some of the epics. Syndicate. What's this stuff? Oh, parts for the Vindicator. So ship parts for the new ship, which is decent. I think I'm going to buy that. And okay, Terran credits, which is used in the faction store. So usual stuff. Decent amount of event loot there though. Milestone 14. Do you get any earlier than that? No, so milestone 14 is pretty good for event store loot. That's quite nice. So there you go. So that's the. I always get the elite pass on that, but I never pay for the £100 version of it. Just the £19.99 one. In fact, let's see. Just check to see how much that is. Pretty sure. So elite premium rewards, and then there's this £20 pack one instead of the £100 pack one. So you see, it's not worth it because they always do heroic SMSs and SLBs to unlock this epic officer. So yes, you do get some other stuff, but I never see the value in it when I can unlock. I tend to be able to unlock the epics anyway, and we've done a stream on that as well, haven't we? So how to use your ships and research to be able to unlock that. You see it's a bit slow because these events have just come out. So I just tend to get this one. I'm not going to buy it now because it's going to pop up on the screen on my credit card details, but I will buy that later. And then let's have a look at the Vindicator, see how much that costs and what packs we got. So we got a launch special, an upgrade pack, that you can have 2 of, and then an unlimited upgrade pack. So it feels like if you're a whale, they're not limiting this at all in terms of being able to upgrade it, because you can buy that, 2 of them, and as many of these as you want. So whales are not kind of pack limited, stopping you from maxing that ship out if they want to. Be very expensive, but doesn't look like there's a natural limit on spend to stop you from maxing that out. I'm not going to do it, but I know that some people will do, that's for sure. Even if it's crap, I guess. Well, I don't think it's crap. We'll find out how good it is. But I may get this launch special. So you unlock it, you get some data, some of this, refine some of that. Yeah, that's for the research tree. And do I get 5? No, I don't get no rare, which is a bit of a shame. Would have been nice to have got 5-star rare gas and rare ore in that to help me toward level 60. But I get a free treasury, so the next treasury that's come through is free. So if I get this and the free treasury, that'll be like almost 2 packs, which is giving me multiphasics. I don't know if you get multiphasics if you use maybe you do the treasury, maybe you don't. Maybe you need to actually buy to get the multiphasics. But either way, that's going to be the best value pack if you want to get it. And I don't think I'll be spending more money to upgrade it. 19.4k worth of ports. How much do you get from this? Well, you don't get any ports, look. Oof. So you'll be starting from a relatively basic one. But that's fine. You'll just have to grow it over time, and then that'll help you get better refinery. Okay, so that's packs. So let's have a look at the events. So the first one's up's domination. Look, gain power. Officer intel spent or ship XP spent. So that I'll just go officers level. See if I can upgrade any. 7 can be upgraded. She gets cascade damage, so that'll get upgraded. I didn't even know she could be upgraded. Should have done that anyway. She's a mater on my PvP ship. So let's have a look to see what she gives me now. 18%, that's quite good. How much does that go up next level? Another 8%. Okay, that's good. Can I upgrade any more? I can upgrade loads, but is there any that I definitely want to upgrade? No, 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 no. I mean, I'll save the Borg 10 for the next Borg event. Right, so let's just go to level. And what we'll do is we'll just choose one that's about 29. One of my fillers. Kuron, because he's mater on my speed crew, so do 1 level on him. So that'll complete today's event. That's good. Event 1 done. I'll save all them up. Okay, so we've got a pack called Unstable Discoveries. Unstable Discoveries mater, so this is going to complete the events and you'll get some loot and tend towards beer. And then the first one is kill ROMs, so that's easy peasy. So we'll be able to kill ROMs easy. And this one is, can you use, no you can't, so you can't use ATA, you can't upgrade your away team experience on the officers, you got to actually win them. Well, that's not too bad because I spent a bit of the bounty hunter things on speed ups. So if I go to my away teams, so you kind of want, that's not rare, is it? What is that? Is that epic? Oh, it is an epic. Don't really need them though. It's 3 days is a lot. So I want like a 1-day rare or a 2-day epic. I'll come back to that one. Is that an epic? No, uncommon. So your best bet on them is just to find 1-day rares or 1 to 2-day epics and run them. And get successful, and then that'll complete it. Alright, so then I guess more is going to appear in that each day. Then you've got to build a Vindicator. So you'll just get 24,000 loot store for building the Vindicator, which we'll get later. Damage, so this is an SLB. Damage solo morders, double points from Vindicator. I mean, that Vindicator is going to do so much low damage that it's not going to be as good as faction ships anyway, unless you're really spending it. So down that I go. So I did see this one come in, so I'll set up Cisco Miles 7 with crit damage, hull breach, and ISO Cascades lower decks. In fact, and now we've got even I've just leveled her up on her, so that's good. So I've got that shape, and then I went for this instead of Metalios, because interestingly enough, if I change shapes, stop it, Joe, change shapes. Because I'm not bothered about survivability at all on these solo morders, I was looking at my attack, damage per round, 55.96. If I go to Metalios, it's 43.81. I think that's because my Vorture benefits from all my Klingon research, so you can see it's like 75% ISO damage bonus instead of 50%, plus everything else, extra damage I get from the Klingon. So I'm going to have a go with that instead. I've just gone 5-6 Karn, and I've stuck Burn, Morale, and Assimilate lower decks, just to proc stuff, just to get them going for any other research that works off them. And then I really want Burn because it gets me extra ISO damage from Nova Squad. So I've stuck Nero in there. And then I want my crit chance and extra shots, even though they're only 30% chance. And I've stuck this on the Borg, which is probably my next bet. Like probably my second best in terms of power, but it's actually my third best in terms of damage per round. It's quite similar damage per round to that though, isn't it? 55.96, damage per round 53. But it's just got miles more defense and health. Look, 56, 469, 25, 246. It's like double the defense and health, but that don't really matter because we're just going for all out damage. So let's give it a go with these three. We'll just do like a Bajor and Solo, because I've got loads of them. Bajor. Just go across here. Just have a crack at this. Send them there. Let's also, just for a laugh, put on Send Defiant, Swap Shape, Cerrito, Titan, Swap Shape, Cerrito. And we'll stick all them three onto the Sompek. And we'll just see what damage it does. Well, I don't know what's biggest. Are the Borg ones bigger than these ones? How big are the Borg ones? Let's have a look. Oh, people are running them. Look. So these are about 2 billion. Let me turn that into my NX01. Where's my NX01? There. Let's have a look at the Borg ones. To the Borg ones. Hi babe, I'm just on this. So the Borg ones are 4 billion. And these ones are 2.5 billion. So the Borg ones are bigger, so they're probably going to get me more points. But anyway, I'm here now, so we're going to start this. Oh, thanks, mate. Start that one then. Oh, I'm on this. Go upstairs. So we'll get these in here. Just in the right chips. Just for a laugh, I'm gonna fortify. I'll stick that on that one, and I'll use that on there. So we'll have a look at this and we'll see how much damage it gets. You can see everyone's running solo armadas, look. So I'm intrigued just to, because normally I would put in here the Defiant actually in there just to get the extra loot, but that's going to impact the amount of damage I do, which is not good. So what we want to be doing here is maximise the damage that we do on these solo armadas. You can see it's busy out here, innit? How many of them can I do? I'll have a look. Probably can do an epic, but if I'm doing an epic, I probably do want the Defiant in to get the loot. So I'm just intrigued as to how many points I'm going to get off this. Got 3 big ships in, all doing a lot of damage. So 4.8 billion. So let's have a look. Where did that put me? Where did that put me? It was this one, weren't it? 9th. Okay. So they're not great, are they? Must be better ones to do than that. Let's just try a rare, see how many points that gives me. Try a rare, and then we'll try an epic. We'll see how many points we get for them. And then we'll try the Borg ones. Yeah, and it probably does rigs. That's probably what's happening. If I kill it in 1 round, and if I'm killing it in 2 rounds, I want the rest of them to fire off all the shots, just to. So it will do, but in the 2nd round, once it's dead, you see there, it's just got destroyed and then it's ended. But normally, it must be because it was the end of the guns. You finish off your shots. It didn't really there though, did it? Because did my Sompek even shoot? I'm sure it did. So what we want is the biggest possible armadas. What are they? What are the biggest possible solar armadas? The Chimera don't count as solar armadas, do they? So that's not going to work. They're pretty big. Oh no, they're not. It's the Zindi ones, isn't it? I need to do the Zindi ones. It's the Zindi ones that's going to get me big points. Oh, but they're group armadas, Zindis, aren't they? So they're not. So how many points did that get me? Got 9 billion for an uncommon. God, even worse there. Got 1 billion for that. So I only got 1 billion. That's weird. Were they even easier? That's strange, isn't it? Why did I only get 1 billion for that? That didn't make much sense, did it? So I got 9 billion for killing the uncommon and 1 billion for the rare. Let's have a go on an epic. See what we get for this. Uncommon arrows. The next Borg system, yeah. Well, I mean, these are the biggest Bajoran ones, so that's a no-go, isn't it? But yeah, Riggs, I think you're right, mate. I think we'll try the Borg ones next. But I think the Zindi ones are going to be the best. Sure, I've got Zindis. I need to remember where the Zindis are. Can't remember where the Zindi ones are. Oh, I do. They'll be the same place as Borgs. No. Zint, they'll be here. So, probably. Now, the thing is, you could do NX01, couldn't you? You could do NX01 on the 60s. I bet that's how you're going to get the super stupid scores. This is not going to be the best. So we got 8 billion, which is not too bad. It's going to be the NX01 crew on them. Because is that what it's... let me have a look at the scoring again. Yeah. That's going to be the NX01. Oh yeah, I'm just on the internet at the moment, babe. Sorry? I'm just on the internet doing something. Okay, thanks. Right, I'm going to send them back because that's clearly not going to... You're not going to win with them. So while all them chips are heading back, we'll have a look at the other events. So, solo modders, Gemador, no, that's off the list. They're not going to cut the mustard in any shape or form. You're just going to get rubbish scores down here. I think Borg is not the ticket either. I think it's the NX01, which is with the NX01 crew. Which I need to remember what it is. The NX01 crew. In fact, let me have a look at this. So my NX01 crew. Let's go down to... Oh no, because they're just the battleships. They're not armadas. So it's not going to be NX01. It's got to be armadas. So it's going to be Zindi. It's going to be the Zindi. Yeah. Which ones are they now? It's these ones. So it's the Armada ones that are in here. I think. Is that right? I'm trying to think what the biggest Armadas in the game are. Let's see if we can peek into there. These things. It's definitely these things. But are these group ones? Are these group armadas? Yeah. So they're not going to work because they're group. So it must just be the Borg ones. Let's try the Borg ones then. Maybe expansions, but they're group. No, they're group, aren't they? Let's try the Borg ones then. See what they give. Borg solo. So the biggest Borg ones are. See, that's Suncroft. That's Zindi in it, I think. That's Suncroft's expansions. Sure they are. Yeah. So they're group expansions. So it's not in there. I think that Orange Fate is the furthest one I can do. Let's have a go. Send them over. Although, just because this is about on par with that for damage. What's been damage per round? 45, 53. I'm going to go with the Teleos because I'll get the extra loot. So we'll try that. See if that does any better. If anyone can think of any bigger any bigger armadas, solo armadas, let me know because I can't really think of any. So upgrade the Vindicator. That's just an heroic for upgrading it. Buying that pack. Okay, that's just a syndicate heroic. Still thirsty in that Echoes of War. There doesn't seem to be any more events towards that one. So that's using Loot Star. So maybe it's worth using. We don't know though. 200,000. You have to buy a. Yeah, that's why it's heroic. You need to buy a pack, wouldn't you? And then there's a SLB for spending it. And then finally there's this. Multiphasics, mission keys, completing the missions, point overflows, and mission keys. So nothing of excitement in there. Right. So the only really thing to be working on in the next couple of days is running solo mods and doing as much damage as possible. Reach Odin Sigma. I don't know where's maybe. Or in Sigma. Which ones? Oh, these ones. Yeah, probably can actually. Oh, we'll go there then. Well, that can't reach. That can reach. So that's going to have to turn into a Borg ship. Yeah, I can reach Odin Sigma. Cheers, Riggs. Is that the biggest Borg ones possible? I think it is. I don't think there's any Borg bigger than that, is there? 6.7, 7.3, 7.7. And yeah, that's only 59. I didn't even look down here. Alright, but we'll give them a go. Because see if I can put my disco on there and warp over. Disco across. Maybe I can do that. No. It's out of disco range as well. It's definitely out of the Vindicator range. Yeah, I should be able to kill that Riggs. I'd be surprised if I can't kill it. Yeah, there won't be any issues killing them. Nope. Someone is killing them with a 678 million and a Borg, so in fact, that's the person who's winning it, isn't it? Kill Land Street. Let's have a look. Is that the person who's top? Yeah. So they're just running them. But I've got loads of these, to be fair. So I could run these until cows came or put the Borg on that. Send that out. Yeah, if you've not got a max Telios rigged, you would need to whack on Grush, but that'd be fine. If you use a decent faction ship, Borg Cube and Telios, or if you've not got the Borg Cube range yet because you've not got the faction ship high enough, then I reckon a good faction ship and a Telios would kill these. As long as you're crewed to do high level crit damage ISO, I think you should be fine. It's worth trying. I don't know who's I don't know what ops are you rigged now. Rigs. 56. Are you going to be in my bracket? I think you probably would be, won't you? 56. Let's have a look what brackets these are. What's Brad? 59. 57. Ultra. Oh yes, yeah, so there's ultras in there, the 56. So you are going to be in there. So the trouble is here, it could just be really boring because, yeah, you are in mine. The issue is here, like you said, it's going to be limited by the HP that they've got. So you just have to run loads of them. How many can I run? Oh, lots. I can run 33 of them. And how many of them can I run? Not that many. 4. These. 5. So it looks like to me it's just a grind on the uncommons, isn't it? You have to grind the uncommons. Let's see how many I get per kill on them. Yeah, and you can see volts here. So it'll be in the bracket above. They just got one ship, well, probably his best ship. No, it's got bigger ships than that. But maybe that's really big crit damage ship. Right, let's give one a go, see what we get. Yeah, it does look a bit grindy, this one. I don't think there's a magic button, is there? I was hoping there's a magic button where you can kill stuff that other people can't kill. Therefore, I'd score really highly. But there's Borg and there's Bajoran. And I don't even think the Chimera are that big anyway, are they? How big are the Chimeras? Can we see in? And I don't even know if the Chimeras will count as solo armadas, because they were saying they weren't armadas, weren't they? But I still think it's worth testing if they're quite big. I'll put the NXO one on and have a look to see how big they are. So let's see how big they are. Oh my word! Oh! 4 points. So they're quite. Oh yeah, but we're not going to be able to do many of them anyway. Oh my god. I guess that's a bug. Dear me. That looks horrendous. Right, see how many points I get. 16 billion. So that's better. It's not brilliant, but it's better. You just got to run them over and over again, haven't you? It's just now who's got the most uncommon starts for level 60 Borg solos. That's literally all that's going to be. You're just going to sit here doing these over and over again. I'm going to try it with just my Sunpec. See what happens. See if I score more from just my Sunpec instead of putting the other two ships in. I know that sounds weird, but I'm just intrigued. Maybe I'll like do more rounds or something, which might give me more damage. Unless it blows me up, but I doubt it will. So I'm going to try it with just one. Hey Riggs, you're here now, mate. Yeah, you'll beat them easy. But yeah, mate, I think it's just a matter of burning your uncommon Borg solo directives and who's got the most left and can be bothered to keep running them. So let's have a look at the scores to see what the sweet spot is in terms of SLB to come. If you weren't bothered about winning it. So top 10 are going to get you 12k. 4 to 5, 16.8. Third, 24. So they're quite evenly spread out, aren't they? So the more you put in, the better, really. I think I'll go for anything 10 and above. I'll aim for a 10 or above on that one. But yeah, people are just running loads of them, aren't they? That Patoot. Killing. See Patoot's going. So how many points did I get for that? Well, that was better. With just one ship. So I think just doing one ship's better. Do that again, see how many you got. So I think you get more points if you just kill it with one ship. Maybe doing more rounds. So with one ship there, I did 2 rounds. And with all my ships, I did still 2 rounds. So that doesn't really make any sense. Let me have a quick look. One more. We'll see how many points I got, because I weren't looking that time. Will Cerrito reach? Yeah. Could Cerrito boost that ship? Yeah, scoring for the smallest ship. It could be that, Riggs. That is true. When only the smallest ship scores. See, if you just use your biggest ship, you're gonna do better, aren't you? That's exactly what it is. That is exactly right. So my worst performing ship is the one that's scoring. But when I just use my best ship, I remember that now. God, that was ages ago, mate. Good memory. Yeah, that's right, mate. I do remember that from the solo Armada event. So how many points am I getting for this? It's only 14 though, so it's not... I don't think it is. Maybe they fix that then. Maybe it's just 14 million on the nose each time. It can only be whether like I get a run out of... So once it's dead, do I get a run out of crit shots after? So it blows up. No, see that? It didn't. Sometimes it dies, but then you get a run out of crit shots that kills it. So like the 2.7 billion crits. And what was the other one? That was my last one. 14 on this one. See, that killed it in one round. Because they were all crits. So maybe that's why. I got crit, 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 crit and killed it. Whereas the one before, I went 2 rounds. So I got more damage going. So it's just RNG in it to get through 2 rounds. To get through 2 rounds, it looks like I get more damage. Yeah. Okay, so it's not, there's not the bug anymore. So they must have fixed that bug where only the smallest ship counts. And now it's just, do you get overflow damage? That one's 19 billion. So it's a bit more. So I've got like 5 billion more. So I don't know where Patuka is, so like, he must be somewhere else. Because he's going relatively fast, but maybe he's been doing it a while. He's getting the same scores as that Killian Street, so I think they've just come straight in and ran these. Well, anyway, that's going to be exciting. Just running out all them. On the plus side, at least it's going to get me uncommon. Like, enough uncommon to last for a long time. Right, I'll keep them going and we'll have a look at the... Here we go. So what's coming up this month? So we got the point overflow pass. Okay, that's just your overflow. Syndicate Ascended Shadows Heroic. So we looked at that one. So that's just earning Syndicate XP and it's heroic. And you get Syndicate XP by doing some of these heroic milestones. So not much we could do about that apart from spend or cash in Syndicate experience from multiphasics if you were that bothered by it. But I would recommend saving your multiphasics for alliance events. So game multiphasics, buying in web store, mission key hunter. That's where you've got to log on to the website every day and claim your free key, which I always forget to do because the rewards are not really worth it. But if the rewards are a bit better on them, I should do it really. So I'll have a look. If it's like extra event store loot, I'll try and do it this month because your alliance need you to do it as well. So you should really do it. You should just bookmark like the store on web page, and then just do it. So look, I got 19 billion again. So we set another one off. So I'm getting about 20 billion a pop now. Let me just 3-0 boost myself for a laugh, see what I get. Because this 3-0 boost does have a major impact. But it probably kills it in one round and I get less points. But maybe I'll get overflow on first round. We'll have a look. It might be counterproductive, you know, there to use that. It's probably like nerfing the score that I get because I can't get to second round. Complete missions, okay. Recruit, so it's heroic spend for that. So we know how to complete them heroic spends and how to unlock them. So that's fine. And we've got an heroic, which is good. So we've got both the heroic and the SLB. So there's no change in the way to get your epic this month, this arc. So that's fine. We should be able to unlock Mazriad Vial, if that's how you pronounce it. Symbiotic exchange. So this is spending your loot store. And that's spending your loot store. So the SLB and heroic. Unlocking and tearing up beer. So again, that's probably, you got to buy them in the shop. Echoes of War. Okay, so we have got some Echoes of War. So SLB, scoring the event by dealing damage to FKR group armadas. Okay. So hopefully I can score off. See, look, 12 billion. So that's nerfed me. So I got 12 billion. So I got because I'm Cerrito boosted. I've killed it quicker. Look, so I've done less damage. So, well, I've done more damage per shot, but I've killed it quicker. So therefore, I've not run the full round out. So I've got less points. How long's that Cerrito boost on for? 5 minutes. Ugh, right, well, I'm gonna have to tell you what I'll do. I'll do this. Send it home and back again to turn it off. Which is the way you could just turn it off? Oh god, my eyes. Where's it? So small power, that discovery, that it's so far down. So I'll just send it home. Recall, that'll turn it off. Pair while I'm there. Then we'll just send it back. So here's what it is on there. I'll burn all them uncommon Borg stuff and see if it gets me a score. So I do need to know. So it is important because I'm hoping to win this Echoes of War. I'm in 3rd place, 100,000 above Mora, 200,000 above Boskinars, 225 above Gecko. So I've got a reasonable lead, but we need to have a look to see. Let's go to this again then, and we'll have a look at this. So the Echoes of War. So I'll have to. Well, that's 61 plus. So this is a cross for 61 plus. So ours is just an SLB. It's scoring by using FKR damage. So hopefully you can. I think I've still got quite a lot. Or maybe I don't. That could be quite tricky. Look, there's 3 more events to win that, and I've no idea how much I've got of them. Let me go to my items. Materials, or is it other? No, I think it's in other, isn't it? More directives. So I've got 3,000 uncommon, 1,500 rares, and so I'm not too bad actually. That's not too bad. I don't think it costs much to start an uncommon, does it? Might be 100. If it is, I'll be able to run loads of them. So I might be able to win that off the uncommons, the level 68 uncommons. But if it's rare and epic only, then it might be a bit trickier. Okay, alright, well I still fancy I've got a decent chance, because everyone else will be running a bit low on norm orders after Alliance events and everything else, so that's going to be an interesting one. So you got the Echo of War ones, which is just the same as it was last time, and another 3 times run of dealing damage to group armadas. And yeah, and if I do remember correctly, this is where the Zindi armadas were big, aren't they? So I'm going to save up all the Zindi armadas, and you've just got to get in on your alliances Zindi armadas. So that's actually, it's them in it. Just being active and getting in on them Zindi armadas is to win that. Yeah, that is the only way to win that one. So then we've got SMS. Okay, we looked at this. Destroying hostiles. Destroying ROMs, Fed, ROM, Gone, Mirror Universe, Deep Mirror Universe, Borg Probes, Completing ATAs, Docking. That's an still SMF. These are all solo milestones. Docking, Trellium AOD, and mining. But they're all solo milestones, so they're all easily doable. Vindicator, so we've got to build it, upgrade it. This is what I'm doing now. Dimensional breach. Defeating. See, I wonder if that Vindicator can beat that level 60. If it could, I'm going to get double the points. If you buy it, I wonder whether it'll be able to beat it or not. I'll save some of them uncommons and we'll have a look. And then defeating Dominions, so it's just an SMS. But with the Vindicator, so you need to have that ship. Arena Prep Meta, Regional SLB. Place in Arena Prep leaderboard events. Upgrading buildings and completing research. So I don't know what a prep leaderboard event is. We'll need to find out. Oh, they're here. Gaining power via research, defense platforms, buildings, and dry docks. So you've got to gain power. So you need to be saving level 1 researchers for that. So don't do any like 70,000, 100,000, 200,000 power researchers. You need to be saving them for that. Spending FT reactor protomatter and tear up crystals. Okay, well, you got to save your upgrading them forbidden techs. So don't go leveling them up or tearing them up till that date. Spending G3 or higher materials. I mean, that's just a pure spend event, isn't it? That could be quite brutal, that one, depending. Level 38 plus. These have all got level 70s in them. That's going to be horrible. Unless you're level 70, you're not going to, like G6, you're not going to be competing in that. Okay, and then so you're doing the prep. And that allows you, how you're doing these 3 will determine how you're doing this regional SLB there. And we need to have a look to see how good the rewards are for this, to see if it's worth it or not. And then you've got SMSs for completing the arena. For just completing it, win or lose, but you get more points for winning. And then do the regional SLB, cross server SLB for winning. So that's whole leaderboard. So Terran Tribute SLB scores by and then spending what you win from it. So as expected, there's no ALB for it though. I thought there might have been a, which alliance has got the best score regionally for winning most. That would have been nice, but it seems like it's you only. There's no ALB there. My ship will be back, and then we'll come back to that long con events. Who's off and running there though? Gecko. Yeah, I think most people have realised this is a place to be, just to run these out, and it doesn't really matter how many ships you do it with, does it? In fact, the less ships the better, because you've got more chance of going more rounds and getting the overflow. So let's go back to the things. We went past Echoes, Vindicator events, the arena events. So that all makes sense, doesn't it? You prep, as in spend a load of stuff on research, buildings, your forbidden techs, and a classic spend. Then go and actually win yourself in the arena. So there's a bunch of SLBs and ALBs that run from like the 10th through to the 16th of this month, which is quite soon. It's next week, isn't it? And then a long con event. Scoring the event by placing in the long con leader. Okay, so what's that? Earning Zindi scraps from Zindi Australs. Ooh, well, that's a big grind one, isn't it? Zindi scraps from Zindi Australs solo leaderboard. So that's going to be a loot crew multi-shipping on Zindis. 15, so I must have killed it in one round. So that's just a grind, that one, on Zindis. Why do I keep going there? It's because I keep thinking events. So I'm going to the events instead of going back to the notice board. So earning Zindi scraps within the hostiles, another SLB, earning Apex ISO matter from Gorn. So you've got a 24-hour grind event on Zindis, a 24-hour grind event on Gorns, 15th and 16th. So you have to get your grind shoes on for that one. Scoring event by earning raw trail A and D from. So there's another two. This is earned, so you can't mine this. You got to win it from hostile. So then you've got another grind event on probably trail A, because D you don't get enough. So I bet it's trail A is going to win that. So you've got to just grind out on all the entry tokens that you've got on these two. They look like the 24 hours. And then you've got a reputation. Oh my god, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grind events and a mate that sits alongside it. Well, that'll keep you busy. If you're really interested in grinding, then there's probably, if you get stuck in on this one. So what do we need? So you don't need entry points for the Zindi stuff. You don't need entry points for the Gorns. You do need entry stuff for the mirror hostiles. So make sure you've got plenty of entries, which I have. I've got gazillions. Now this one, you need to be doing that in mirror space, don't you? Because I'll do a stream later on that, but there is a zone that you can hit traders in mirror space where you get boatloads of reputation. So there's going to be a way to win that if you get into the right zones. And then ticket events. Now I've got loads. I've been saving up a few ticket events, so like I'll have a look to see what you get for getting these, so I can get the rare ones. So I might do that. I'm not going to look through all these, but basically just your regular ticket events. If you get loot store, I always save the ticket events, so then use them for when I can get loot store stuff. So not loot store, the event store loot. So I'm hoping I can use all my tickets now, and these all give event store loot, and that'll be good. So that's it. So there's quite a few there, isn't there? So there's a few spend events, there's a few grind events, and this is technically this is a damage event, but it's just grind because there's no other ways to go. And I actually think, look, if you see here, Gecko's, he's kind of, look, max fortifying himself, Cerrito boosted, but I don't think he's going to get any more points because there's a maximum. Now, I guess the max fortify will give you more shots. So if he gets an overkill, then you get a bit bigger overkill because you'll overkill with more shots. You know what I mean? So it dies, and then you carry on doing your shots. So because you've used max fortify, you'll continue doing more shots. But the thing is, though, he's going to kill it in like a gun or two, and then you're not even going to get the. Maybe. I'll see. I'll see if he jumps up leaderboard, see if that's worth it or not. But I don't think I'm going to use the max 45 for that. That doesn't seem worth it. So I just think it's the people who are going to slowly. Now the thing is, I could run about 500 of the Bajoran solo uncommons. I've got loads of them. Is there another research event? I don't think there is, mate. Well, I say there isn't, but right. So there is the prep event for this, and you get gaining power via research, defense platforms, building the dry. So you can forget building the dry docks. You can forget defense platforms. The only way you're going to win that one is by gaining power via research. And what you want is like a level 0 to 1 research. So if I go to, so when I say there's not on Nova, what I mean by that is that there's not like specifically for the Nova. But if I like did this one, that I get 57,000 for that. So them 0 to 1, they're always worth more. That's the CC 1 to 2 on that is worth 10,000, and I mean that's ISO damage, so it's always quite high. But you can see they're 57,000, and the same principle. There wasn't a specific one. Like, no, I don't think there is. There's normally an event for upgrading the Nova Squadron building, so really you should save these, but I don't. So if you saved up these, there's sometimes an event for the Nova Squadron. Now they may, in that event for Nova Squadron, mix in, upgrade research and you get points as well. So, but it's not on the event list. But going back to how to win that research one, you need to find something that's like 0. So I might even have one in Xborg. Do I have one in Xborg where I've just not done it? Don't think I have. You want one that's like, take it right. Let me go to the combat, because I'll have some at back end of this. Back end of this. On the back end of the tree. So like here, Federation Armada defects, right? So Klingon Armada defects. I'll show you that one first. 9,000 to go from 1 to 2. And then here, 155,000 for the first point. So 155,000. So like if I start unlocking towards there, which I probably do because I've got all these uncommons and I've been saving them for stuff like this, I can kind of work. I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6, like level 1. And I might have some more back here. So you need to go through all your research and say, have I got any 0s? Yeah, and favours. If you've not got favours, are worth quite a lot just on their own, even regardless. I think. Let me have a look at the Bajoran favours. Good point, Riggs. If I go to now, maybe I don't know, because you're not gonna be able to unlock any of these here. I'll show you this in a minute. That's the new Terran thing. If we go to Xborg, no, yeah, Xborg. You need to go here, don't you? Have we got any? See, I don't have any that's 0. But let's just say like energy wave at the bottom. How much would I get? So I get 37,500 for going an extra level on that. I've got 21,000, so I could. All these are worth 33,000, 45,000, 33,000. So actually, dropping any Xborg loot that you've got, look, 226,000. So I'm absolutely going to do Lucky Gas Miner, Lucky Crystal Miner, and Lucky Ore Miner. And what do they take them? Lucky Miner ones. Look, fine. 1,670. So anything that's grey on here, which is probably just them ones for me, and these ones, opportunity, but 192. 192. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are all in magnitude of about 200,000 each. So that's that, as well as then let's have a look at some of the combat ones. So this is where the people who've like always click forward and it was station when we've already looked at combat. The people who've already just like click them randomly and just, you should never ever do that 0 to 1 for no reason whatsoever. You should always just get that first level when you really need it for an event. So I always save them, trying to see if I've got any. What's orbital scrapping? 345,000. Base dilithium storage, 345,000. Battleships. So all these on the station that I've not done, these ones, they're all going to be worth absolute boatloads. So I've got a good chance on that one. I could see myself doing all right on that one. And you might think, oh, the whales will win it, but it's really hard for the mega whales to win that because they've already maxed out the researchers. So they've got nowhere to go. Where do they go? Now they may. There's obviously all the new research that's out now, isn't there? So in the Starship, the bottom here. So again, my Gorn ones. I mean, I need them parts anyway, so it's not the Gorns. I was saving them for something. But they may get these Vindicator ones. But look, it's only 24,000. 24, so maybe not. So even if they got all the new Vindicator stuff, they're quite low power. So they're not going to win it with that. So that's the way you're going to win that. So the other thing we wanted to look at was, the new faction. So as usual, you got to get points. As you get more points, it unlocks more stuff you can get. I like some of these little avatars. Be nice to get this one, Platinum Imperial Dagger. Whew. So you got to get like that up and win a little arena stuff. So what we got here? Oh, see, so we know I've talked about these in the one earlier, so I'm not going to talk through it. What's that George's Crown though? Increases Apex armor versus players. Ships only 2,500. Ugh. That's not that good. I suppose it's better than nothing. So you probably want to get it and increase it, but I'm not that intrigued about that. Especially when, in fact, let me set this one off again. What's it saying? I also check. I've not Bowden. What they're saying about the known bugs? Is that the? Can you write in the chat what the known bugs are? Is that which event is that known bugs about? So rigged. If you don't know any old free, I mean the primes, mate, are worth about the same as a 0 to 1. You'd think that the primes are going to be worth load and load of power, but they're not. They're worth not that much. Bowden, what's the known bugs? Are we talking about this particular event? Maybe is that the damage of the smallest ship? Don't claim the comeuppance mission. It frees. Oh god. And mirrors. Yes. Well, I know mirror space is bought. There's also another space that's bought. Looked at this earlier, mate. So if you want to let people know, it was the Zindis. Because I was looking. Oh no, it was maybe the Chimeras. Because I popped in here to look at this, and I think these ones are balked as well, and these don't need a warp on them. Watch this. Let me change to my NXO one. It might be fine now, but I got a really weird thing on the Chimeras. So imagine our just peeking in. So I've got to get. I hate it how I've got to get it out of the station. Why can't I just look at it with the ship in the station? But that's by the by. I looked at this. Yeah, look. So watch. Look. So you can add the chimeras. So maybe it's to do with hazards because that has got a hazard in it. So the chimeras have got hazards, so it may be linked to that. Yeah. So okay. So for people who do watch this, what we're saying there is that you've got mirror space mirror hazards and don't claim the comeuppance mission. It's a comeuppance mission. Okay, is that one of the new missions on the? Don't claim it. So okay, I'll make sure I don't do that. Is that in here? Where's the comeuppance mission? See the symbiosis and let the games begin. Oh no, is that right? Or is the comeuppance mission somewhere else? I don't know where the comeuppance mission is. Maybe it comes after some of these. Or maybe it's in the claims. Not sure. Do you know where the comeuppance mission is, Bowden, so we can let people know? I know there's not masses of people watching, but some people do. I tend to get on quite early and get these out, so they get quite a lot of views afterwards, like up to a few hundred people. So it'd be good if anyone looked at it, they know where they're going. No DJ. I don't know where that comeuppance mission will be. Maybe it's one you've got to claim. I don't know which one the comeuppance mission is. But anyway, if anybody sees comeuppance mission, I guess don't claim it because it looks like it's going to crash your game. And the mirror space is totally bought, and the Chimera space looks bought, and that may be because it's a hazard base, which is the same with the deeper mirror space. So we need to kind of avoid them. So what do we get? Do we get any decent power for? No, I see. Upgrading these buildings don't give you much power. It's like I said. It's these late G5 ones that's going to get you all the points, like these 385,000. So it sounds daft, but I've literally been holding off for doing these researchers for an SLB like that. It's the first one we've had in ages. It's normally like you get a point for a research, and then when you're doing that, you want to do loads of really little researchers. But this one, you want to be doing like the few level ones to get you the most amount. And all the others are just grind. You've got to grind. So if you just have a quick finish looking at the this, in fact, well, see, there's a bug there as well. It just keeps spinning. Just set this off. See, it's still doing 2 ships, and I don't think that's better. I think doing 1 ship's better. But when you go into this for the first time, look, it just spins. So click off it, come back to it. It's fine. So another bug. So these are just the things that are in the patch notes. So I don't think there's much to say about these, apart from Mirror Harua is what I really want to get and try. So because I'm hoping that is a percentage straight added on to the Apex barrier that you've got. And for those that didn't see my earlier one, I'll just do it on the Borg. Manage, assign officers. Go to group. Let's say I was attacking an interceptor, which I wouldn't do on a Borg, but just go with it. So you'd put mirror date first, then you'd have mirror pick, you'd have DZOC. But the thing is with DZOC, it's 95 at 70% chance to assimilate because he's maxed. But their whole health has to be below 95%, so it's only ever going to come from round 2. So why I don't like having mirror pick there is because, okay, you get the cascade damage, but you don't get that at all, that assimilate, unless you assimilate, which is a coin toss. It's the coin toss on data because it's 55%. So if the coin toss don't come off, and you could even throw Mirakir in there, as I've shown before, in round 1 you're dead. Like my Sompek, 800 million, killing 2 billion enterprises and 2.4 billion Rotarans because they've used this crew, and data's not procced, so they just die in round 1. So I don't like it that way around. But if you know you're going to fight an interceptor and you go that way around, then this apex barrier is not. There's no RNG. It just happens. So imagine I'm going to put in Mirror Troy there, but just imagine that's Mirror Harura, and if that gives you max synergy, then I click across. You see here you're getting 45,000 apex barrier, which just dwarfs any of these extra 500 or extra 1,000 that it says that you can get from other things. Now, they all add up and it will be marginal gains. So if you got lots of extra 500 and lots of extra 1,000, I think in time, let's say you might get an extra 15,000 from all your little ones. So individually the 500 they're not doing much. Let's say you get that to 60,000 and then you get a max Mirror Hura, and that doubles it so you get 120,000. Or even off the back, that's going to take that up from 45 to say 65,000 from level 1 of Mirror Hura. But that's all under the assumption that she maybe gives you max synergy there. If she doesn't, then if she doesn't, then it might not be worth it. So I do want to get Mirror Hura. It looks like the only way of getting her, by the looks of it, from what I can see, is via this faction. See, it bugged again. Oh, it came back out now. Is there? So you got to have it. You got to be at gold. Unlocks at gold 2. So you got to get from Lackey to Ally, and then I don't know what these bronze. Oh no, this must be your ranking. Okay, so okay, yeah, I get it now. So these ones here, up to Ally. Is there any more that says Lackey, Venerated, Exalted? So there's some of these looks like it's linked to your reputation, but some of them where it says like Gold 2, Bronze 2, Silver 4, that's going to be linked to your ranking here, your arena rank. What's going on? That's totally balked, isn't it? That? Why is it showing the Alliance's power on that screen? Another bug, Bowden. Report it if you want. So, like at the moment, when you click on Players Arena Rating, it's just bringing in the power rating for the Alliances. But I'm guessing when it works properly, you'll be in this rating depending on where you are on that arena rating. Maybe that gives you a gold or silver or bronze status or whatever it is. Oh, no. You could have just done that one, couldn't you? So I might as well run these out. But I am wondering if I'm going to buy the Protector, I'm going to save some of these because do we reckon a Protector? No, not the Protector, whatever it's called, the Vindicator. Is that what it's called? I think it's called the Vindicator. It's a G4 ship in it. It's over here somewhere. Keep going. There, the Vindicator. I don't see how that's got a cat's chance in hell of killing these. I can't see how it's going to kill it. Not until it's well leveled. So maybe if you buy both the ship and the upgrade pack, and you crew it right and buff it, it might be able to kill one of these, and it'll get you double points. But all that just to get double points seems you're not going to beat somebody who's got like 100 starts on this. So this is just going to be a function of who's got the most starts on Borg and Bajoran to top it up. So I don't think it's really worth it for that. The only thing that chip's going to be worth it for is this refinery at the bottom, which I don't know what's in it, but well, the patch notes tell you what's in it, but we don't know how that refinery is going to scale with an increase in that new ship. If it scales really good and you get a load of really good stuff from it, people are going to want to buy it. If it's rubbish, then I don't see any value in that Vindicator ship helping with these armadas, because there's no armadas that you can kill. And I did see I catch the recording of the DJ's show, but it was like really late for me, living in England, and he were a bit cagey about the new ship because he couldn't really talk about it. But in that he said, you know, this ship's coming out and helping that anybody who's G5 or above doesn't need any help for. And he's 100% right. As you can see here, I'm one-shotting a solo armada with my G5 ship, and others could do that as well. It stays here now, though, with some of his highest damage ships. So my hope, though, is that maybe they're going to bring out, maybe when it gets to like tier 15 or 16, it's going to be a right beast, but not do much damage. And if you send your faction ship in, it's just going to die instantly against a future armada. So someone's got to bring the tank along to tank it, taunt it, tank it, takes all the damage while everybody else kills it. So there is potential for that ship to grow if they bring out new and better armadas. The other thing I found out from the DJ's webcast, which really disappointed me, is that you can't use cloak in the arena. And the Griffin were trying to defend it, saying, well, and DJ were trying to defend it, saying, well, cloaking's not really a PvP mechanic. I'm like, what? Cloaking is definitely a PvP mechanic. So like, I can understand why, like, they don't want people going into an armada and just hiding. So that makes sense. But to say that like cloaking doesn't have an effect on PvP, it's like 400% extra critical damage when cloaked. If we go to FC Lorca, FC Locutus, you've got 134% extra critical damage while cloaked. Is that for solo or group armadas? The new ship. The new ship is for all armadas. It just works for all armadas. But I don't know whether it'll work for the Chimera, because they're a bit umming and ahhing whether that's an armada or not, aren't they? But the new ship is just works for, it just says armadas, so I think it works for any and all armadas, solos, and so if in the future they brought out a new group armada that one of you had to bring the Vindicator along to tank it, and another 6 people brought DPS. Now they may even then bring like a heal ship out, so you bring your tank ship that taunts it, you bring a heal ship that like each round heals hull, and then you've got 5 DPS that kills it. That'd be quite cool. And if you just took your faction ships and tried to DPS it, then you'd end up dying because you've not got a tank to kill it. But you can see here, it says, I don't know, it just says opponent armadas. Yeah, so it's just armadas. It doesn't say solos or groups, so it does count for both, and the ones in the arena as well. So yeah, Bowden, he does it in the both. But going back to that point I made about cloaking not being a PvP mechanic, it's like, it really is. By not being able to cloak in that PvE arena, you're taking away maybe, if you look at all the forbidden tech and everything else, that could be a net 400% less critical damage. It kind of negates Locutus which is the PvP fleet commander, and negates like the time crystal. Well, it's still the time crystal's still going to be useful, but because the health and the damage against players and damage against players, still getting 2,600 extra damage, but it totally makes that useless in the arena. So I'm not going to get like, it may be that was considered and they've decided that they don't want cloak because it's a bit OP. But there's a cooldown on cloak, and once you've killed something, you've got to wait for that cooldown to end. So you can't constantly cloak and kill stuff. So it feels like they've tried to stop the mechanic of cloaking to kill the Armada, and in doing that, kind of taking away one of the fundamental key things of PvP, which is cloaking. But it is what it is. We'll have to adapt, and we'll look at new crews, and we'll look at new forbidden techs, and we'll look at new things to make sure we still got the edge. It's going to be the same for everybody. So I'm not crying about it. I'm not bothered. We'll learn and adapt and evolve when we get in there and we test it. But to say that it's not a PvP mechanic, which is what Griffin said in that thing, I do fundamentally disagree with that. Cloak is, given the fleet commanders and the forbidden techs and the research you've got, cloaking was there and designed predominantly for PvP purposes. Right, and I think that's pretty much covered most things really. I think I've been going for about an hour and a half. I just wanted to jump on to go through the events, which we've done. We've figured out kind of the best way to compete in this, which is extremely dull and boring, but it is what it is. We looked at all the events that are on here and what we need to keep and save and how we can potentially do well in the SLBs, whether that's grinding and the key takeaway for that is save them 0-1 researchers for the power. They're really important. And then we had a little look at the faction store and talked a bit about the arena itself, which I'm quite looking forward to because I do like PvP. So, and the other thing on the first video, I was saying where level 70 could go, we're level 40. They can't. So it's like a plus or minus 7 levels from the person who starts, who's like the leader. So if you're level 50, let's say you're level 60, then you can have up to level 67 and down to level 53 in your team. So if you're level 70, you're a bit screwed because you might not be able to get in teams. So it'll do one or two things. They'll have a change and widen that band, but then it creates more inequity in terms of the teams that gets created. Or if you're in an alliance and you're like the only 68, 69, 70 and everyone else is like level 55, 56, 59, you might need to leave and go and join a different alliance if you want to run the content. I think there may be some madness in that strategy where Scopely are trying to bring people quite close together. Now for us, we're not too bad, look, because if you have a look, we've always kind of been relatively close powers. So if anybody like here starts it, our highest JC 67, so JC probably shouldn't go to 68. But if he goes to 68, then anybody from, so Pick, Nutser, Fluffy, Elmit, Lack could start one. If he stays at 67, then Baldy could start one as well. And then we go quite deep. We've got really strong middle order. So we go all the way down here. Look, we've got loads of levels, 57, 56. We've got loads in that range. So for us, best bet for us is like 55, 56s. So if Daz comes on and starts one, that's going to cover probably all the way up to about here and all the way further down. So we're not too bad actually on this. It's just JC we need to be careful of to make sure that like when Fluffy and Elmy and Lack and and Nuts are using their starts and pick their starts, we make sure that we get JC in on them ones. Otherwise, it's going to be. But you'll see some alliances where they've got like a 68, maybe 169, or like 2 or 3 really high level, and then no one else is anywhere near them. It gets a damage buff when hit it with the skill activated. The Armada is forced to only Vindicate. Yeah, Senkari. That's right. That's how it. I was like now. Actually, the research on it, I don't know yet. I keep saying it's like going to be rubbish in Armadas, but compared to a faction ship. But look, this taunt damage goes up to 5,000%, and then if you choose like I'll do a Klingon Armada, that goes up to 5,000%. So you got 10,000% extra damage. The ship itself, I think, if you level it, you get extra damage per round every time you get hit, and obviously you are getting hit every time. So this here says increase weapon damage by 5% for 5 rounds each time you are hit. So I'm guessing that 5% goes up the higher you tier it. So that might be going up every time you get hit for 5 rounds, going up by 20%, 30%, 40%. So you never know. This thing, when it's leveled, and see it's got its own little M score, which is shades of the Stellar, if people remember. There's only the Stellar that's got that M score, which is interesting. When this thing's leveled, maybe that damage is going to ramp up dramatically each round. So as long as it survives, which I'm hoping that like the defense and hull will scale up exponentially, given it's only starting with 43 million. It might like hit like a wet lettuce in round 1, but then by round 8 or something, it's banging out massive hits. So maybe it might be alright. But yeah, you see how it's got its M score. I said the only ship that's had that previously is the old Stellar. I don't think there's any with an M score apart from the Stellar, unless someone can remind me. The old Stellar, this thing, assigned ship. Where you got to upgrade it, aren't you? It's there, look, M score. That's the only other place I've ever seen that. So right now, day 1, it looks crap as a ship for Armadas. But I do wonder over time, if you get all that research and that percent damage increase every time it get hit just scales up and up and up and up, could be a bit of a beast. But like, you know, it's supposed to be a tank, so you know, if I put my classic MMO hat on, I don't want that ship to be doing mass of the damage. I really don't. It should be a tank. You taunt, you take all the aggro, which I like about it only gets hit for 20 rounds. I think that's a nice take on what a tank does from the holy trinity of healer, DPS, tank. So that's perfect. But it shouldn't be just a one-man wrecking machine in terms of damage. It should be that like no other ships can survive an armada unless that tank's in it, because it's going to take all the damage. But it's not going to do much damage, so you're bringing in your G5 rare, G5 epics, G6 ships or whatever. They're taking no damage because it's been taunted by the tank, and your DPS ships are doing all the damage. So, you know, like what you could bring out next is an absolute glass cannon ship. Like an absolute ridiculous glass cannon. And what I mean by that is that if it did get hit, it'll just die in 1 round or 1 hit. But it does insane amounts of damage. So that'd be like a fire mage in a classic MMO. You know, like you've spec your fire mage with cloth armor, you've gone all in on crit fire damage or magic damage. You've got like insane levels of increased damage, critical chance, everything, but you've got like 0 defenses. So yeah, so maybe like was it something Senkori, the really high level Zindiorm orders? Yeah, maybe but like at the moment I can only get to like the 56 ones or whatever, and I can like I can solo them myself with my Sunpec. But like, and also I don't know how all the G6 ones are. Like, are the G6 got any problems in them, or they're just sticking the massive ships in and blowing them out with crit ISO damage? I suspect it's the latter. But if they brought something out that only the Vindicator could survive in, and then they brought another ship out which would just instantly die in one round if it got hit, then you may have to put a combination of, them ships together to actually beat certain armadas. You could have like heroic big boss armadas that needed the right combination of ships to be able to beat it. That'd be quite cool. And I guess like I think what scope they're trying to use is armadas as their boss mechanics. Because you think about like if you do a raid and you get to the end boss, they'll do things like they'll insta kill you unless you like jump up top of a pylon to avoid the damage on the ground. Whereas for Scopely, it's you know only takes ISO damage, or like it increases critical damage by 200% in round one. So they've kind of added them things to the armadas. So I guess they're trying to make that a little bit funner, but it's just at the moment you just face roll them with your best faction ship regardless of what they bring out. And even the Zindies when they came out they're really hard, but now I can the furthest ones I can get to with my Sunpec I can kill solo. It just seems wrong that. So it'd be great if like they let me access to like the level 62 ones, and then the Vindicator had to come in, and I could send my ship along to support the G6 and do some damage because I hit really hard. But maybe like a level 65 armor would just wipe me out completely. But my ISO crit damage could probably support them G6 if they lowered the warp requirements to get some of them armadas. So I think there's a bit of potential to play around with that ship for the future, but I think they've got to grow it. I think that they've got to grow it. I didn't see much growing potential for the Gorn ship, the whatever it's called, Viscerator. It's just, disco with lower or crap warp range. You can bring a few ships in, which no one really needed to do. So I didn't see. And all these ships are with, yes, you get better refined, and yes, you get access to research. That just comes as territory. But I'm more interested about, can they make interesting mechanics of use of these ships? Now you could say, well, that's just a situational use, and it won't replace my faction ship for day-to-day gaming. Well, that's fine. Situational ships are for situational purposes, and you take the right tool to the right job, which I've got no problem in, to be honest with you. It gives you another reason to try and get that particular ship. It's like now the NSEA Protector. I should have had it by now, but I messed up and got some of those extra hull damage things for my ships, and I'm on like 160. But everybody else is just mining the using the NSA Protector in mirror space to like kind of reduce one of them loops. And I've still got to go and grind with my Sunpec. So there's a specific use for that ship. It kind of makes things easier. So I don't mind that either. And it'd be nice if this new Vindicator became really useful in this arena. So I doubt it will be though. I think it'll just be one really big, strong faction ship, one really fast Telios, or whatever your fastest next best ship is. The Talios just to run around killing all the traders to pick the directives up. The faction ship to kill the other ships and disrupt them. Start it, win the armada with your faction ship without dying. And the person who's got the most dominant ship is probably going to come out on top in that arena. But there may be ways around it if everybody goes speed and just constantly avoids it and then nips into the armadas. We'll see. We'll see. I'm quite looking forward to that, actually. Tactics will be quite good. Alright, well, family are going bonkers because they weren't expecting me to do this at this time, so I should probably log off, get some food, and watch a bit of football, because that's coming on the telly now. The Numpty Cup here in the UK for my team who are in League One, so that's on telly against Newcastle under 21s, so I'll be watching Rotherham on doing that. I probably won't be on as much tonight. I might have a go on Throne and Liberty. I've not been streaming that. I quite enjoy that game, but mix it up a bit. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Hopefully people found that quite useful. Again, I'll stick this up on YouTube and post a link. Okay, cheers all. Thanks. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. And please, if you're not already, please do like, subscribe to me, and follow me on YouTube. I'm not doing this to make a load of money, but yeah, I'm about 2 away from being able to get the next stage on Twitch, so it'd be nice if we can try and get them next 2 or 3 subscribers. Cheers all. Have a good night.